versus NAF shows so far in this league, and they're going head-to-head right now on train. Dust Pistol Round is just about to kick off. I didn't expect the pick. We talked about that. Should favor OpTic Gaming. Do you think Liquid have a really solid chance? They start out on CT side.
OpTic absolutely needs this to work out. Like, this was their trump card. They pulled out Train, a map that Liquid hasn't played, and though OpTic also hasn't played it so much, and the results are mixed on it, only that big win against CSGO Lounge for E-League, but losses to Virtus.pro and Dignitas and all kinds of other teams lately. This is their trump card. It needs to work. Otherwise, they are losing this series 2-0, in my opinion. So this needs to be the one if OpTic wants to try to pull through. And we see a lot of action going on at Ivy. You can see huge aggression from Liquid. 3 players pushing Ivy here into OpTic. So far, an even exchange has taken place here. But Nitro and Stan both also quite low. Daps is even going to help out a bit. And so this is kind of just a stalemate over here at Ivy. But look at Shazam. He slipped through. No one caught on to him. And now it's another exchange.
See, that's the problem with Liquid. They get super, super aggressive, and they get 2 players that are completely isolated outside of Ivy, and they keep taking on that fight. The problem is they lose complete control of A site, and now tables have certainly turned here. Liquid's got 3 versus 2. Kusa just trying to stay alive. He's completely isolated in this situation. Peeks out, amazing headshot. Now he's got to deal with Stanislaw, who's down to 6 health. Nice headshot by Stanislaw. And hey, if he finds 2 more headshots just like that, he could turn this around. Super low HP.
Good move.
He's able to go ahead and recover the bomb.
Simple got the heck out of there, kind of realizing what was going on. Didn't want to give Stanislaw a chance at a 1v1. Backs up, and now Simple and Hiko have regrouped. They're together here in the outer yard, and this is where it becomes an almost impossible task for Stanislaw to win.
All right, he's going to go ahead and make a little bit of a presence at the A side. Drops Hiko down to 7 HP, and then sees Simple. It's just a matter of keeping these crossfires up. Simple loses his head.
Holy
and then Stanislaw finishes up with a 2K. That's a 3K round. Even should have enough time to get the bomb plant. Extra cash for the team. OpTic Gaming. Dude, the aggression by Liquid, absolutely nuts. It all backfires. They turn it around again. And
I mean,
how?
I don't know that the aggression backfired, Pat. They had a 2-on-1, and they played it pretty smart. Simple backed off of Ivy. He regrouped with Hiko. They were playing outer together. They were set up pretty decent not to give him any one-on-ones. I mean, think about it. When he first shot at Hiko, Simple responded with some fire right back. He just missed, and by missing, it gave Stanislaw a little bit of a chance. And what do you know? He comes up with the 1v2 clutch with 6 HP, Pat. What a crazy play.
Oh,
that's exactly what OpTic needs to get settled in here on Train and try to pull out this upset, as they're now up 1-0. But, of course, Liquid force buying up here. Nitro getting pretty aggressive on the ladder room.
Yeah, quite possibly the best matchup of qualifier number 1. This is the semifinals. The winner's going to go into the final round. They play against Selfless. That's the old enemy GG roster right here. Winner of that has a guaranteed spot at CEVO Season 9 LAN GFINITY London. It's going to be awesome, but you got to get through this matchup first. Okay, a little bit of aggression going on. I think that might have been Daps dropping a flash down, just messing around with Hiko. And the bomb works its way backwards towards Ivy. So it could be a 3-man Ivy rush and then a split A with rush on ladder entry.
Yeah, so Alicia's going to have to see what he can't do with this scout. Here he is posted up at Ivy. He's been here the whole time. He does get a... No, never mind. Doesn't get any hit. And actually, Daff is going to take him down pretty low. Shazam will give chase. He will take him out. Continues to press through, but Kusta and Nitro, they've gotten a couple of kills here, so they actually tilt it back in their favor just a slight bit, but only for a short time, as now Daps and others are ringing in, but Daps is looking alone in a 1v2, and Liquid on the force buy and all the chaos somehow come out ahead of that, and they square this game up at 1-1, so all that ground that Stanislaw gained in round 1 has now been lost.
Gone. It is absolutely all gone. OpTic Gaming really hurting at this point. This is a financial game. It's all about establishing that early dominance at this point, and Liquid takes it right back. And look at how aggressive the buy is going to be for them. They got a bunch of M4s, and then you got the old Swag 7 in the hands of Simple. OpTic going to be hard pressed. Dap's the only one with any real firepower here with a Galil. As they force up, try to convert this. The team's going to stay stuck together. Simple at ladder. Probably the best spot with a close range fight with the Swag 7. Not going to be a factor, at least early in this round.
Yeah, so OpTic gearing up here just on a little bit of a force buy. In fact, it's a full force buy. There's nothing little about it. They've really invested all into it. They're going to try to fight it out to get economic control of this game. So we're going to have one of those scrappy starts to this as both teams just keep forcing up to try to get a little bit of an advantage in the beginnings of this half, and here you see it. OpTic about to execute any moment now into this inner bomb site. Will spill out into lower, but Hiko, he's here at the top of Pop Dog, able to deliver the first frag. He's got to rotate as well, already on its way, and Simple has such a fast flank.
That's a great entry, though. Rush is going to be able to go ahead and drop the bomb, and now it's up to him to take the 1v1 fire fight against Simple. Rush takes him down. Kusta, though, lurking around the backside. Takes one, takes two, finishes him off, and now that is short work of the team for Liquid. They're going to get the defuse, picking up the extra round. But I'll tell you what, Dust, taking 3 players down, OpTic makes it a little bit costly, and the DAP should walk away with quite a lot of money off the back of that 2K.
Yeah, but OpTic, they invested a lot into that to try to win, and all they got was a bomb plant, which is okay, but it kind of limits your ability to force buy again. I mean, even though Liquid has to do a lot of rebuying, it's hard to punish that because you just don't have the money if you ever want to get a buy round in soon. So they will take kind of in the middle of the road approach to it. They will get some upgraded pistols. They get a little bit of utility. They don't have any armor. It looks like they're setting up a bunch of smokes for outer. Maybe you're going to see that smoke wall in the front of bomb train or something like that, and just try to see if they can't get another plant before going into the next round. But they're going to have to deal with Liquid being pretty aggressive. Simple pushed up ladder room. There's a couple pressed up on T-Con, so they're not going to just give OpTic the site and play a retake. They're going to contest them head on and try to deny that, capability of OpTic getting the plant.
Yeah, OpTic's going to be taking their sweet time on this one. Just trying to bait out a couple of grenades for Team Liquid, and they're all hanging back, looking for some smoke walls. A couple of shots being tagged back and forth. Simple takes some damage. I think that may have been just through the wall. The damage, a little bit of attention, forces Liquid to go ahead and play back, a little bit more passive on the ace. Based on their position, if OpTic executes this smoke wall, that might be the perfect anti-strat to what Liquid is doing right now. They're going to block off all these players and be able to push in. But check this out. The bomb is going all the way to the backside. Nitro backs away. Should be taken down by Stanislav, but no, it turns it into a 2K. Shazam stand both down. And now a couple of shots. He knows NAF-FLY is out here, and it's all over but the shouting. It's up to Rush and NAF-FLY to pull off a miracle.
Yeah, weird to see that type of smoke wall when you're going to do a heavy Ivy hit. You're just relying on the fact that you're going to be able to... I mean, if anything, those smokes encourage Liquid to play behind them, so you're just going to run into all that when you come through Obby, so that was a bit weird. Maybe they were trying to avoid what they thought was some aggressive positioning from Liquid, which early on was the case, but Liquid fell back behind those smokes, and OpTic just couldn't get past Nitro. Nitro with 2 really big kills there at Ivy to deny any chances of OpTic closing in. But OpTic, they will get their first full buy. Shazam won't have the op. Well, let's see what they want to do. Like I said, they're usually a pretty default-oriented team. Daps likes to play in the halls, NAF usually by Ivy. And this is one of the maps where Stanislav is more of an entry guy. You know, he's not playing the edge of the map like he might do in other maps in the pool. He's usually a part of the attack at T-Con. But we'll have to see. Looks like he will be going with NAF to Ivy this time around. But everyone else is in pretty much their default position. So let's see what they want to do from this.
For a minute there, it looked like Nitro wanted to get very, very aggressive, but instead he smokes it out, drops a flash. He's going to go ahead and back off. So no engagement just yet between NAF and Stanislav. And Elige is starting to get a little bit impatient, flashes himself out, peeking for information. He's not going to find Shazam, though, around the corner. Actually does. Tags him up down to, 28 health, where he has to go ahead and back off. So, bad for Shazam to get damaged, but at least he's still alive. He's still going to be a factor for Liquid to have to deal with. No AWPs out just yet. We're only in round 5, 3-1 scoreline, Dust.
I mean, this is the aggression from Elige up on T-Con. Kusta's even pretty well pressed up here on the electric box. So, again, it's Liquid taking those initial, pretty forward positions to just try to disrupt OpTic as they set up. As Elige has actually pressed all the way in, and they're setting up that smoke wall again, it looks like. I'm not sure if it's for a fake or an actual outer execute, but if they do try to come out, or Elige has a chance to just blow this thing up before it even gets started.
Really hard angle that he's holding right here, and it's up to Stanislav to go and peek it. He walks around the corner, walks right into the crosshair of Stanislav. That's perfect, though. Stanislav was just kind of waiting, staging for some action. Kusta, though, pushed up close by E-Box, takes one before he gets traded out. Now this is just a simple lesson of OpTic Gaming trading their way right on into the site. That smoke should allow Rush to go ahead and get the plant, no problem. Simple and Hiko doing the boost, though. Look out for that. Rush drop. Too late, though. Bomb already down.
It is 2v3, so Liquid does have a slight edge on this retake opportunity here. Daps does have a Molotov, it looks like, to maybe try to cover the bomb, and NAF has picked up a kill onto Nitro. Simple trades it right back to it, so they keep the man advantage. It's all on Daps, not ladder. He pulls out the molly. He's going to be able to get that on top of the bomb, but he's getting pressed by 2 players here. There is no smoke to stop that molly. Actually, I don't think it hit. Hiko's able to defuse. Yeah, so I guess whatever play Dash was trying to make with that Molotov to cover the bomb from being defused, it didn't work. It missed.
Yeah, I think he realized that because he could hear that defuse going on. That's why he ended up pushing around the corner and just walked right into the crossfire. This is bad. I mean, OpTic Gaming, they don't play this map very often. This has traditionally not been their map, except for in really big cases, like you talked about, going to the wire with Virtus Pro and then finally taking CSGO Lounge out in E-League. You were right. They're pulling this out of the working on some strategies, trying to anti-strat Liquid, but they're running into a little bit of trouble.
But listen, mate, Liquid's not pulling
CT
out.
side.
They're going full in right now. That's what's happening at this point. 4-1 score. They've been pretty dominant. Again, there's still no op on OpTic, but Kusta, he's going to have his, so he's going to back off a bit more at the outer yard now that he has an op to work with, and he will take out Shazam right away. So there is already a very early advantage here for Liquid.
That's extremely rough right there. So Liquid, all they really have to do is sit back and let OpTic roll into them. They've taken that early round advantage. 1:10 on the clock. As you see that OpTic, they ended up just kind of dropping the bomb over there at the very back near T-Con. So they haven't made any decisions just yet. The team's very split up. Look at this. Stanislaw and Daps up here by B. NAF and Rush going to group up with the bomb. Now they're starting to take the bomb up towards B. Upper B. And they're going to execute. Got to deal with Hiko and Simple, though, who tend to buddy up quite a lot, especially on Cash at the B side as well. And they've turned
Every
into quite a
map
pair.
like this now.
They've been quite a pair ever since that ESWC event when Hiko was playing for Flipside, actually.
I mean, they have the closest
chemistry.
bond of anyone with Simple on this team. That's why they play together on sites. They do it on Dust 2. Every map they play together pretty much. Though this is one of the maps where Hiko's probably going to be a little bit more solo and Simple will just kind of rotate back and forth. But he has chosen to be here with Hiko to make a stand at inner, which is definitely where OpTic is looking to attack. So let's see how it pans out.
Well, that's an entry right there for Daps. Taking his head right on off. Hiko tries to return, but no NAF. And Daps also finishing the job. Bomb's going to be planted now. Kusta Nitro Liege on the retake. Problem is they're already there. Check out Rush, though. Sneaking his way in from Z Connector. If he can just work his way in, he should be able to take all of these players by surprise. A little bit too slow. Picks up one for his trouble. Now they know exactly where he is on top of Red Train. Can't find Nitro. Liege all alone. Look at that panic.
Understandable panic, though. We'll see if he can make it work as Stats keeps jiggle peeking and keeps baiting out the shots. It allows Rush to get in a better position here. At least just take out Rush, but he's still going to work, but that's up ahead. Can't get the bullets, and Dash just keeps evading him, keeps just jiggle peeking in and out, and he's finally killed enough time to secure the round, and he'll even get the kill at the end. So a round that started a little bit dicey for OpTic, losing a player and getting into a 45 quite quickly. They were able to overpower Hiko and Simple to get control of that inner bomb site, and then eventually, with Rush's, flank at Z, able to close the round. So, well done. That's a round they definitely needed, as they need to make the most out of this map, because this is kind of their trump card. Again, they need it to work.
It was a lot of it dicey, but the problem for OpTic Gaming is that they lost so many members. In fact, they lost everybody. Daps ended up blowing up to the bomb, so they don't have a whole lot of money to go ahead and buy. Stanislaw's got the UMP, and look at the utility. There's, three smokes available, 2 flashes. So whichever site they end up jumping on top of, they're pretty much going to have to go ahead and commit to. You see the bomb working his way up towards B. Might be a fast B. Simple's in ladder room again. Hiko's isolated all alone at the B side. If they can take a fast pick or somehow isolate Hiko, they've got the bomb plant, and then all they have to worry about is this rotate. Let's see what they can do. Grouping up right now. Execution is going to happen in a few seconds.
Yeah, Hiko does spot the upper push already. Going to get a pop flash, just try to stay alive and buy time for that rotate, which does occur. Liege there gets the first frag. In fact, Hiko still alive. He's going to pull out another frag. And so it's a 4-on-3 in favor of Liquid on this retake right now. OpTic need to hold this off, and NAF's doing his due diligence to try to make that happen, and he's already found another. But Nitro trades right back, and now we have a 2-on-2. Make that a 1v2. It's all up to Stanislaw.
All he has to do is play for the bomb timer at this point. They've killed plenty of time so far. Nitro is already tagged up extremely low. 8 health. Stanislaw out of utility. Flashes himself out. Gets caught in the doorway, standing in the middle of smoke. That gives Nitro an easy frag. Worse, it's with an SMG, so there's an extra $600 in the Team Liquid bank as they turn this one around. Bomb timer got just a little bit close right there. Dust, I think that really came down to the previous round. OpTic Gaming didn't have enough cash to get as much utility as they might need to make a good, proper executor, even have an option to back off if it didn't work.
It's also, even if OpTic gets a decent main advantage on their execute, Liquid's retake is so powerful. Like, even the round that OpTic won, it came down to a 1v1, right? Like, Liquid has done very well on getting kills. especially Kusta rotating with that op. He's been on point. Elige, he had a big round just now, helping open that thing back up. And now they have OpTic on a crazy 4-spot. Sinazol has an ump. Everyone else on just Tech 9 armor nade sets. So this is boding pretty well for Liquid. Again, this is a map they haven't even played before as a 5, so they're kind of just freestyling it. Not to mention they don't have much of a playbook even on the rest of the map pool. They've been a very just kind of loose run-and-gun style team, just using their firepower to get rounds, and so that's what they're doing here on retakes. You know, they're just out-fragging their opponent, but we'll see if OpTic can get the job done here as they're going to attack the center bomb site again.
Big old smoke wall coming in. There's a 1-for-1 trade. Rush almost knocked off the bomb train, but Elige works his way all the way up to the middle. Nobody expects that, and finishes off with what? A 2K. No, Simple going ahead and helping out. Stanislaw walks around the corner. Finds one, but it's just too late. Liquid's already all over the B side. Forced buy for OpTic Gaming. Not going to pan out. Not even picking up that bomb plant money. It's looking bad.
You almost wonder if they invested too much into that. You know,
yeah, because they have to save now.
I mean, if you're just looking to get a bomb plant for money, that's one thing. But now,
even a bomb plant wouldn't have
now
done
they
much
have
for
nothing
them.
to work with this round. So Shazam still has yet to have an op this game, period, which is where you would think he would have his most impact on a map like this. And he's usually been pretty good with that op. So that's something that you need to think about here. Simple isn't to get aggressive. We'll get a kill on the Stanislaw, but Rush does trade it pretty quickly, and he's going to get the maximum for himself. Now NAF, in the meantime, might catch Nitro reloading, but no, Nitro gets it in time. He's able to get the kill and gets the main advantage back for his team.
Yeah, I think he heard or knows that reload going on, which is why he ends up charging in all YOLO-style Nitro. Almost caught off guard himself again, and when he gets pushed, he turns that into a quick and easy 2K. Worse, Bomb is fully in control of Team Liquid, and that's going to put Rush in just a terrible, terrible situation. He's got plenty that he should maybe want to save. Molly, Mag 7, he can go ahead and do something with that Mag 7 going into next round if he wants to hang on to it. Hangs out on the backside of B side. OpTic, I mean, I don't know, Dust. It seems like their cash has been financially strapped for the majority of this. They've only got, what, 6 rounds to go? 5
well, they've had their
rounds
money reset twice, Pat. I mean, they won Pistol, got their money reset right then and there, and then they got their money reset again a couple of rounds ago. And while it doesn't hurt you as much as it would on the CT side, because you have a little bit better chance of force buying, it still does add up, and it still makes things quite difficult. Especially when one of your main kind of tools in your toolbox has not even been able to come out yet, which is Shazam's op.
Right.
So we'll see if they can get it now. No, there's still not enough money for one. So it's still back to AKs only here for OpTic, and even their utility will be a bit limited. So they're still suffering from the money problems.
That is 3 rounds in a row where OpTic was unable to buy quite fully. Yep. Two basic saves, forced by saves, and now nothing but AK-47s. And yeah, that's a really good point. Shazam has proven himself to be such a good opper in some recent matches, even on land, picking up a ton of aces actually lately. And he hasn't been able to pull out that big King Daddy cannon that he needs to get the job done. There's Stanislaw going ahead and opening things up at Ivy. He's going to go ahead and back off, recovering the bomb. 3 versus 4. OpTic Gaming at a severe disadvantage. What they need to do now is just kind of group up together and try to hit one site at once. Daps is watching the B site. Not going to make any noise, though. Hoping that Simple pushes them, but I don't think Simple's going to be quite that bold just yet.
No, there's no need. They have the main advantage. There's no need to force a play. Just hold what you got. Goes right there at Z-Connector to assist Simple anytime it's needed. So OpTic, they're going to have a tough time. They might have this small window where Hiko isn't able to get vision. They can just try to 3v1 Simple, but I mean, even Elige is already beginning to cheat over here a little bit, so this is going to be tough to crack, especially if they don't check Simple spots. Sometimes a spot that doesn't get cleared, so you might have a chance to grab someone off guard.
Oh, Daps. Daps going to find himself pinched off real fast. Hiko, Simple, both watching the angle, then Simple in that corner. You called it. Not frequently checked, just walks out, sprays him down, finishing the round with a 2K. That was
also helped that Hiko got the kill, so that made it even harder to clear that spot. They still had to worry about Hiko kill Dap, so that further kind of set Simple up. And now it's 8-2 in favor of Liquid. OpTic again back to saving. So we saw 2 force buys, then a full buy that still wasn't that great, and now they're in another one. Maybe after this round, I could see it. I could see it happen after this round when they have money.
Yeah, I mean, OpTic's going to have to do something. We know this is CT-sided, but, I mean, at this point, 8-2, you can't really afford to give up too many more rounds. Very likely they're going to go 9-2 unless OpTic can go ahead and pull out some ecos. They haven't won any ecos on this map on train one bit, as I recall. Little tower power going on NAF-FLY, trying to find some shots over the top of the smoke. Not going to be effective at Ivy.
This map isn't working out so far for OpTic, because I think OpTic is one of the more, tactically versed teams in NA. CLG and OpTic, kind of two teams I've looked at. Yep. Energy is starting to come up as well tactically, but they're not finding anything against Liquid, who has and kind of embarrassed CLG in an earlier qualifier, kind of the same way, just too much aim. And
look at Simple.
He wants some money. He might even get 3,000 out of this. No, doesn't quite get rushed. He gets one stab in, but not the second one, but still a lot of money gained and a lot of damage done, not only to the scoreboard, but to some morale, I'd assume. And yeah, Liquid just cleaning this round up.
Oh, that was just a straight-up disrespect play. Like, I understand you want the extra money coming in for the knife kills, but you've got two people. Chances are you're not going to pick up.
Why you have to be mad, Pat? It's just a game.
Yeah, exactly. 9-2. Good Lord. Simple just playing the sneaky beaky plays right here. OpTic Gaming. This is the first round we have seen an AWP coming out. They're bringing out in two, Shazam and NAF. T-side double opping. Okay, well, let's see what they end up doing with this. NAF's working his way up with Stanislaw to op at Ivy. Shazam playing around at A site. And they're just going to go for picks early on. Kusta tagged up big time. 15 health, 14 health. Nitro's down. That's the opening OpTic needs.
Yeah, I mean, Kusta tried to do a little bit of a different play. That's the first time we've seen him have the spawn for upper, so he tried to go for it. Got taken down quite low, had to back down, and as you noted, Shazam is able to get his Nitro out. So finally, it's OpTic with something to work with. A nice opening pick. They haven't lost someone early in the round yet. They've also done a lot of damage to Kusta. Meanwhile, everyone on their team's pretty much fully healthy. So this is a round OpTic needs to win, basically, is what I'm getting at here. Everything is set up for him right now.
OpTic's playing this really smart. Know that Liquid really needs to go ahead and make a play and try to even this thing out. So they're sitting back. They've got plenty of time on the clock, watching for picks, and that's one right there. Kusa finally going to get finished off by Shazam. Simple chooses to go ahead and make the play himself, finishes off Shazam, finds another one. Suddenly we have an even game, 3 versus 3. Rush, Daps working their way around the corner. Simple trades out. Daps is able to go ahead and recover the bomb, though. Leash finds himself all alone, wins the battle. Finishes it off with a 2K, actually, and Daps is shut down. Dust houses happen. You got this amazing opening. OpTic's got it, and then Simple. Yeah.
Simple happens.
Simple thing.
That's the type of plays that guy can make. That's why he got picked up. He's a big-time player. He's got sick aim. Sometimes people say he gets a little bit too aggressive. Maybe he's a little bit too individualistic. But hey when it works, it works. And he made a big play there for 3 kills. That's kind of unforgivable if you're OpTic. You got to trade that guy out. And heck, NAF didn't even get to fire a shot with his op. He just got straight destroyed by Elige over there at Ivy.
He did.
So, I mean, that also didn't help out.
That was a big investment, too.
If you can't win rounds like that, how are you ever going to win rounds, right? Like, they had everything the way they wanted it, and then it just fell apart. They had a 5-on-3, and they had Kusta dead to rights with 14 HP. They still couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, Shazam still had the AWP. Here's Stanislaw coming around the corner. He's able to take one. Does a lot of damage as well. Drop it. I think that was Elige over there. Almost gets set on fire. Nice use of the smoke on the A side. So the T's are slowly taking control of A. Shazam rotates back and gets the bomb. It's left all the way in the back side, so that gives plenty of time for Liquid to go ahead and start rotating on in. It's up to NAF to make the play. Works his way through Ivy and isolates Hiko all alone. NAF's going to back off. Bomb goes down, and Hiko's going to need to clutch this. We've seen him. He's been the clutch king in the past. All those are you kidding me moments. Can he do it again?
One's going to be hard. They're so spread out. Bomb's planted really open. He's got to worry about a Z guy. He's got to worry about ladder. He's got to worry about so many things. He's going to put a smoke on the bomb. He's not going to go for the defuse. He's waiting to see if someone will peek off of it, and he did get Shazam peeking, but he couldn't get the kill. And so despite the fact that OpTic lost a round, they definitely should have won a round ago. They do pull that one out. They do get an out back in Shazam's hands. And, I mean, I guess if they can win out this half, there's still hope, but I mean, Liquid's already done a heck of a lot of damage with their 10 rounds here on the CT side, so I don't think this has gone according to plan if you're OpTic. But we'll see if they can at least make it a little bit better by winning out this half. But now it's double op for Liquid. Simple is going to bring his out now. That's going to make things increasingly more difficult, but it's going to be a huge outer rush here. First time OpTic's done this, and Simple's already lighting them up.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for the double off. This is the second round that Shazam has an AWP in his hand, but Kusta just denies him, shutting down Daps as well, and suddenly NAF-FLY left all alone. This is a horrible position to be in, standing right on top of the red train saying, hey, I'm a target, shoot me. And that's exactly what Kusta does, shutting him down 11-3 as we go into the final round of the first half. I'll tell you what, man, this was, yesterday was Hiko's 26th birthday. And so far, it's looking like a pretty good birthday present if they can take this map and then steamroll right on through to Cash into the finals.
Yeah, remember this, guys. The winner of this moves on to the finals of this qualifier bracket to play Energy. And whichever one of these teams makes it through, I think, would be the slight favorite, at least, if it's Liquid, heavy favorite. And that's the first slot for LAN for the North American division for that GFINITY event. So there is a good bit on the line here, and Liquid opening up so well. OpTic tried to change things up, tried to pick up the tempo, do something a bit faster, got absolutely shut down by Kusta's op as well as Simple assisting, and now they're on to a force buy for the last round, and again, the ops of Liquid are just raining terror down upon OpTic. They can't even get out of the choke points yet. They're already down to a 3v5, and all three players left are quite low on HP, especially Rush.
Stands off on himself a nice little gap over the top of the smoke, spots one player and then drops down. That's going to be Nitro getting dropped down. Daps working through the site, surprises Elige, evening things up. This is looking good. Gun situation, armor situation, nice and tidy. Goose has got a really good angle here watching for Daps, but Simple's able to go ahead and find him. Bomb's backed all the way off and now working its way into the A site. That's an entry by Rush. So good at this stuff. 14 HP though.
Go's already lurking around here on the ladder, just waiting it out. He knows that inner halls is still an option, so he doesn't commit to coming down the ladder just yet. Meanwhile, Kusa does spot someone out here at outer. Not sure who he spotted, but he missed the shot. Yeah, he keeps unscoping, but he finally picks it up just right, and Hiko uses that distraction as an opportunity to get out there and finish the round. So 12-3 in favor of Liquid. And if OpTic can't win this pistol, the map that they thought was going to catch Liquid off guard absolutely won't. And it's only going to get harder on Cash. That's Liquid's playground, man, especially Nitro. Nitro's so good on Cash. And they've already proven the ability to play Cash quite well with this 5 and some of the other tournaments we've seen them playing and leading up to this. So, yeah, I mean, I was hoping this would be a 2-1 series because OpTic could take this map at least, but it's not looking like that.
Yeah, looking at the lineup over here, like I saw the CSGO lounge odds and all that sort of stuff, and certainly man for man, Liquid is the dominant team. Probably the best team NA. I'm not counting Tempostorm. I'm not counting Luminosity. I'm considering them South America now because we have some decent rosters going on over here, right? So man for man, Liquid's looking like the strongest team over here. But our producer, Healing Umbrella, actually, who just cast the last game, just kind of poking some fun at me right here, whispering in my ear. Yeah, Liquid, they're looking good, but here's the problem. They've had some leadership issues in the past. In fact, I was talking to Hiko even earlier. I said, hey, man, have you ironed out your IGL issues? Like, who's going to be in charge? He said, well,
you know that
not
Simple
yet.
called their game against Complexity, by the way? That's apparently what I heard. Simple was their in-game leader against Complexity early in this tournament.
Yeah, see, they don't
And then obviously Nitro tried it for the major qualifier, but quickly gave it up.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like rule by council at this point on the team. And I think eventually it won't catch up to them here in NA, but once they play against the top international teams, I think that could cause a little bit of a problem. Like if their initial plays aren't working, they could get shut down. But for now, who cares? Because they're just steamrolling through whatever else NA has to offer up at this point. So they don't need to worry about that just yet.
When you can frag out, then you can just frag out. I think that's a big part of the reason why Simple's been brought onto the team, because they know that he can just dump on kids in the United States. In fact, Simple so far has been the only EU talent who's come across the pond who's really represented in a big way. Even Gabi yet to have a major impact at NRG. Pistol round now underway. Liquid on T's side. Look at the aggression coming in from Daps, basically mirroring what Liquid did, but only with one man.
Pretty quick outer attack here from Liquid. So far, they're ahead right now, and the Legion are going to try to add on to it even more with the help of Nitro. Looks like they will. It's all up to NAF at Z alone, 1v4. Probably no chance. Pop Flash coming through. He's trying to weasel his way around this in the smoke, but Nitro sniffs him out. And there you have it, 13-3 for Liquid. So, not looking good at all, Pat.
No. No. See, I'm not liking this train pick over here for OpTic Gaming. They worked on a couple of strats and stuff for it. They've had some rather impressive runs in the past.
I can promise you this would have happened on Cobble too.
But
so don't feel too bad. Yeah, I mean maybe it would have been a bit different, but
we've seen OpTic looking strong on Cobble on multiple occasions here.
I don't know.
And then on Mirage, in fact, they beat Temple Storm, didn't they? So there are other maps out there, and this one's clearly not working out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say because I'm sure they put a lot of prep work in the train, knowing that they would pick it and knowing that they had Liquid coming up.
Yeah.
So they had the preparation they needed, but it just hasn't mattered, as it looks like it's about to be 14-3 here for Liquid, and indeed it is going to be. So
yeah.
There really isn't much left between here and the finish line for Liquid for this map, at least.
Well, the next one we know is Cash. That is Liquid's go-to map. OpTic has a decent record on that. We'll talk about that pretty soon. Going into match point, okay, OpTic forced up that last round with the pistols. There wasn't very much to talk about in the very first place. So they're going conservatively. You got a whole bunch of grenades. The entire team stacks the A side. All the nades go out and no damage. Well, very little damage done to Liquid. Simple's tagged up just a touch. Those explosions are going to tell Liquid B-side should be clear to come charging on in. That's already taken a decent position, but ends up dropping as he falls off the train. Bomb goes down. Compliments of Nitro. No problem right there. NAF and Shazam. Well, now NAF. Isolated.
I don't know what to say, man. I mean, Stanislaw has an AK. I don't even think he's committing to this, though. I think he's just trying to carry over the next round because obviously they don't have much to work with here. NAF able to get another kill, but can't recycle any weapons or anything like that. So Liquid will move on to map point. This has just been a wreck of a game for OpTic.
Best thing for Stan to do is to go ahead and save this thing. I mean, this is 3 rounds in a row, right? So that's going to be $2,400 extra cash coming on in. Nitro looking for the kill. Stanislaw is able to go ahead and pick that one up, hanging on to the AK-47. I think that was after the bomb went off as well. Well, it doesn't matter for OpTic Gaming. He's on CT side.
I mean, not much you can say. I mean, OpTic will muster up what they can here on what could be and very likely will be the last round of this game, but they have a little bit to work with here.
That's a decent buy, though.
Yeah, I mean, they have a little bit of something here, but they have to deal with Liquid, and they have to win 12 rounds in a row, and I just can't see that happening the way this has played out so far. But maybe they can try to drag this on a bit longer if this round goes well. Yeah, they do push up, but Elite and Heat go absolutely just crush it.
Yeah, that just happened.
On that. Stanislaw has a chance to maybe make it a little bit better, but nope, can't catch Simple, and the bomb's going to go down now. It's going to be a 2v4.
Okay, let's see if Shazam can do something. Finds one through the smoke. There's another kill right there, so that's going to even it up nicely. Bomb taken away. Simple down to 20 HP. Simple's going to watch from above.
That's already calling GG.
Just sitting on top of the bomb. That's not good. That means they've kind of given up spirit. Nitro gets taken down, though, and Simple super low on the health. Just trying to watch the bomb found out in the smoke. I think he might have been just visible at the edge of that smoke. We've got one defuse that should come out for OpTic. 15-4. They're not quite out of it yet, but we're on match point. It's going to be a lot of match points until OpTic can do what? Turn it into a tie? Looking bad.
Yeah, I don't even have any faith in it until they can maybe get up to, say, 10 rounds. Then we might have ourselves something here. But until they can kind of hit that milestone, I think that it's still Liquid's for the taking. It may take them a little bit to get there, but they're already well out in front. They have plenty of rounds to spend to get where they need to be. We are going to see them just pour out of outer rather quickly here. Nitro already sniffing out a player. Liege will get the entry on the Stanislaw, and they're just going to start swarming this site.
Okay, Rush still staying alive, trying to peek around. He expects somebody's at E-box, but he couldn't be more wrong. Liege working his way around the backside. Oh boy, 3 versus 3, evening up, and 1 by 1, Liquid trading their way in. Turns it into a 1v1 for the final fight. Rush is just about to peek the corner. Liquid's not looking at the right direction. Simple shot in the side of the face. Rush feeling the need to go ahead and push ahead, make the play, make this thing happen. He puts it all on the line, and it pays off. So OpTic's going to stay in this thing for at least another round, 15-5. More importantly, Dust, they've broken the bank for Liquid. It's going to be the first eco round we've seen Liquid play I think the entire game.
Yeah,
at this
probably
point.
so. Probably so.
So maybe a slight moral victory for OpTic Gaming. It's still 10 rounds they need to win.
Still have a long way to go, man. Again, I think they have to hit at least 10 or so before I would have faith. As maybe pick up a couple SMGs this round. Maybe they can get some extra money out of that. Stanislaw is going to get aggressive here on T-Con. He does find Hiko. Again, it wasn't by choice to get these umps. It was pretty much they didn't have money, so they had to have guns this round. And Stanislaw does get a couple, so it's getting to a point now where the ump paid for itself, I guess.
Yeah, $900 going into Stanislaw's pocket so far. And Legion Nitro need to group up. They're nice and together, working their way towards the B site. Daps has pushed up really aggressive.
That's okay.
At this point. $1,200, that is.
There you go.
Look at Daps. Spots one. And now he knows his lead is right there. All he's got to do is hold it off for a little while. Turns it into a 2K himself. That's all right. Eco round failed for Liquid. A little tight on the cash. Gonna eco again.
Yeah. They'll go ahead and top off what they can to where it won't hurt them next round. They still have something to work with this round, and that includes pretty much a full force buy. I mean, it's not really a force because again they should have plenty of money to buy next round, but they have the armor, they have the upgraded pistols, they have some utility, and I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see them just pour out in the outer bound site as they have usually done. The kind of team they are now. Get out there and fight. Use the aim.
Well, Tech9's doing a little bit of work there for Elise, trying to make an entry. Liquid's taking control of the full left side of the site. The rotation's already come in underway. Bomb's going to be dropped by Stanislaw. Nitro's tagged up really good. Oh, misses that off shot on Daps. Repeats the corner. It's going to cost him his life. Liquid mops up very quickly on that one. Now we go into the next proper gun round. Match point yet again. OpTic kind of coming back here.
Here's the real test for OpTic. Can they hold against a full buy from Liquid?
Well, you got a Scar.
There is a Scar in play from Stanislaw, so an added sniper to the mix. Shazam will still have his op, of course, but Pusta will have his for the first time this game as well. We saw the type of impact he had there on the CT side with it, so we'll see how it works here. It looks like he is taking it over towards Ivy. There is going to be a push there with two players, but, I mean, Liquid's waiting for this, but they still catch Kusta anyway. They're trying to fall back now. Eco, though, going to get one back for it. Meanwhile, Shazam's got a pick of his own. Yeah, and so now they gave up a man advantage for doing that.
Rush did not need to push that corner. He had the man advantage. It was 4 versus 3, and Rush just keeps peeking and re-peeking at that angle.
Was he actually Ivy, or was he stuck at the fence? I can't remember.
He, I think he was Ivy. I think he could have actually backed off.
Okay, yeah. Well, then that is a little bit of a mix-up then. Got the man advantage.
He could have been
back
stuck,
off. Though. Yeah, I can't remember.
Simple's just going to go ahead and smoke Shazam off. Liquid at this point, they're just resetting. They realize, okay, so we've got Higo extremely hurt. He's on low HP, so he needs to be at the very rear. Most likely, they're going to be stacking 1 and 2. One person we can expect that Z connector, that Stanislaw, is actually playing more towards Hell.
Daps here at Enter right now with the M4, which is where Bomb may be headed. Nitro looking down the lower ramp, waiting. Get out just a bit. They do have Simple over towards ladder with the bombs. So they can kind of quickly audible with that bomb where it wants to go, depending on how things go. But now it looks like they are going to commit to Enter now. Here comes the push.
Okay, Dap's going to be the first man on the scene. Drops Simple instantly, which means he goes super low on HP, and so is Nitro. Stanislaw is able to walk right around with that Scar 20 paying. Well, not quite paying for itself. That's an expensive gun, but certainly paying off a little bit with a round win. So here we go. Liquid's economy, I won't call it broken, but it's not quite where they want it to be. They've still got quite a few rounds they can throw away. Back to the Tech9 Deagle situation. A little bit of material. Got some smokes, got some flashes for an execution. OpTic's got some fight in them on CT side, Dust.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're starting to get to that range where there's actually maybe a chance they bring this thing back into a tie and get this in the overtime. But they're still a couple of rounds off from that. I think they need to win one more good, like, full gun round, and then they'll have a little bit of faith on me. But Right now, they're just mopping up 4-spot Liquid, and they're doing so pretty efficiently. They've only lost one player. They can keep it that way. That'd be great. But now Hiko's starting to dip into their wallets a little bit here. He's got a couple of kills. He's looking for more. Shazam just waiting it out. He goes in, almost takes down Nav as well, but doesn't quite do the trick. And so it is going to be 15-9 now. Still definitely in favor of Liquid. They'll be on their next full buy. Kusa's got his op back. They got AKs across the board. May even do a double op. Yeah, they do. Simple will have his. Yeah. Maybe one's going to go Ivy again. One will go T-Con. And just see if they can't find a pick to open this round up on an outer hit, I would assume.
Sniper versus sniper ×2. Liquid's a big problem right there. They ended up leading with the bomb, and that lets OpTic go ahead and drop that bomb almost instantly, pulling on the full-on rotation. Big play right there. Simple with the AWP is able to go ahead and drop Stanislaw. So now Liquid T's have a man advantage. That puts them in an extreme advantage at this point. It's up to OpTic to make the play. Rush trying to push ahead, realizes where Simple's at. He's just going to drop in and spam right through the smoke. Turns it into a kill. Daps also picking up Nitro. Suddenly this thing has shifted in favor of the CTs. Elige returns in kind, so it's just 1-1. Elige has taken the B site. Bomb's rotating around, but the problem is NAF-FLY is already on the scene along with Shazam. Bomb could drop in the ladder room. That kill.
Yeah, so despite the opening pick from Simple, he tried to get super aggro and look for another, got punished, and now all of a sudden OpTic had this thing in a 3-on-2. They've done well here to fight back in this round. Oh, nice oppo from Kusta on the Nat that gets it into a 2v2. There is a flank coming in from Rush as this bomb goes down. Shazam can't quite fight Kusta, so this is going to be kind of a crazy 2v2 now. Rush could be able to be the game changer, though.
Hey, Kusta's going to go ahead and get found out. That was fire, dropping Rush from Kusta. It's going to put Hiko into a 1v1. He goes down to 6 health. Dropping the grenades, doing everything he can. Spams around the corner, gets caught on the ladder. I don't even know what this is. Shazam finishes the job. Tech 9, Rec 9, defuses the bomb, sticking to it. Came down to the wire dust, 15-10.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my goodness.
Rush's flank paid off. Almost didn't. I mean, he got killed in the fire, so he didn't really get away the clean kill, but put it in a 1v1. Shazam does pull it off, and so now it's 15-10, and now there is some hope for OpTic. They've gotten themselves within striking distance of the OT. They are going to be dealing with OpTic pretty much they're going to be dealing with Liquid bond pretty much every round from this point forward. I mean, it's max loss bonus as long as they keep getting close rounds, maybe getting some bomb plants. There's always going to be that threat of the AKs looming over OpTic, and some of these rounds have come down to the wire. Liquid just needs to find one of those working to close this game, so there is still a lot of pressure on OpTic. Again, there's been several rounds where it's come down to like a 1v1 or a 2v2, so
Simple
pretty tight race at this point.
Simple's pushed up just a little bit into Ivy. Looking for information. We got a 3-man push in Ivy, which means NAF-FLY should by all means get overrun. Drops a molly. That's going to force Liquid's card. Force their hand, rather. Simple doesn't quite catch fire. He's able to hold his position. Naf's now smoked off. Flashed off. That kill is huge for Rush. He's able to go ahead and focus on helping his teammates on the backside along with Shazam, turning their back on T-Connector. And the kills are going in favor of OpTic at this point.
Yeah, definitely. They have a 4-on-3 now. Nitro also taken down pretty low here at the ladder room, but Kusta, he's found Shazam on the middle of the bomb train. He's done a lot of damage, but Shazam still stands with that op. He could peek out. He is going to lay Kusta or through the train. I'm not sure which, but either way, didn't quite get the frag, though it has certainly softened Kusta up a little bit here as they are a man down on Liquid. They're running out of time in this outer bomb site. They need to figure this out soon if they want to put this map away here and now. Hiko finds Nap, but Stanislaw quick to show that auto sniper. Now it's all up to Nitro, 1v2. It's caught in the crossfire, and OpTic will put this to 11. They will remain alive, and they're getting ever closer to finding the overtime. As Liquid, I mean, they just tried to be super aggro and just push out and trade frag to win rounds, but OpTic's been holding them off.
This marks 8 rounds in a row for OpTic Gaming. It was the first gun round in the second half where OpTic brought it back. They haven't given up a single round. They can't give up a single round. Match point every single time, perpetually. Liquid's by looking a little bit anemic this time around, but Lige and Nitro work their way around the backside. NAF-FLY's going to get found out instantly, and it's just a fast execute on the left side. Stanislaw gets dropped, Rush 2, as well as Daps. Liquid has it.
Just might. They have a 3v2. Finally, that green wall has begun to crumble. Will it actually collapse? And will Liquid go ahead and plow through for the win? They're out here now. Rush, a lot of pressure on him to try to see if he can't hold this off. His teammates at inner because they're not quite sure where this bomb is, so they've had to just split up, which means that either way, one of these guys for OpTic, whether it be Doubts or Rush, has to make a big individual play to keep OpTic alive. And Rush, he gets that first kill on the Hiko. Somehow, great reaction shot. He's staying alive. Dats begins to drift over to Z Connector, so they're starting to get in better positions now. As Rush will step out, finds Kusta as well. Some big kills here from Rush. He's got 3 on the round. This is what he needs. It's all up to Nitro, though. 1v2. He's got some decent health to work with. Can he do it?
His positioning is actually quite bad because there's no way that anybody can help Daps out. Nitro's going to finish him off and come charging in through Z Connector. Rush on a 3K. He needs to go ahead and take one more kill. Nitro planning right out in the open. Rush jumps on top of Orange Train, finishing the job, and then there's a defuse. Wow, 15 and 12 right there. OpTic Gaming, they're starting to cut it right down to the wire. Losing a lot of players, which makes me concerned about the cash situation, but no, they've strung so many rounds together that they're just perpetually rich at this point. Scar 20
I think Nitro kind of overestimated the impact his Incendiary would have there. Maybe hoping it would hold Rush off, allow him to plant and get in position, but Rush just pushed through it. Took a lot of damage for it, down to 25, but Nitro just not ready for that so quickly. And Rush with a quad kill round, a big play, especially just how he held a sight from that initial execute to get it into a 1v1. That was so well done from him. Really stepping up when OpTic needs it most.
I was thinking he was going to be in such trouble when he went up towards Heaven, because he'd be isolated at that point.
These rounds have been so close, though. Like Pat, we haven't had a comfortable win here from OpTic. It keeps coming down to clutch plays. Luckily for OpTic, they keep finding them, but you gotta wonder if it's eventually gonna give.
Well, not just yet. Suzanne picking up another. That's 2K so far. All OpTic needs to do at this point, just kind of sit tight. Elise trying to make a play, but he's all alone. Trying to distract so that Hiko can work his way in through Ivy. Not going to work. Set on fire.
Yeah, man, I mean, Liquid, you know they don't have a deep playbook. They don't really truly have an in-game leader. It hasn't caught up to them yet through most of their games. I mean, they've blown through the Malmo qualifiers and most of their ESEA games, except for like one map lost to Energy. Other than that, they've been almost perfect in all their online results with this 5. But now here against OpTic, which is, of course, one of the better teams in NA they've faced against so far, on a map that they're certainly not familiar with, it's starting to catch up to them now. OpTic actually have a real chance of putting this in OT now. They're only 2 rounds away from it. This round, Liquid doesn't have so much money. They could maybe light buy a bit, a few upgraded pistols, a little bit of utility, and still have a nice full buy next round, you know, in the 30th. But they need to come up with something. Looks like it is going to be a tactical timeout to try to figure out, hey, guys, what can we do that's going to work? Again, I feel like they've had success at Outer, and they've gotten picks. They've gotten it into close situations. They just haven't been able to close one out yet.
Yeah,
meanwhile, OpTic doing so well.
Yeah, they got to win out on these clutches over here, which is kind of funny saying about Liquid because they have, well, one simple could just frag out seemingly anybody over here. And then Hiko, who's known for being kind of a clutch king kind of player, working the extremity and then coming back around and finishing the job. I think what's going on with Liquid over here, we're seeing the beauty of OpTic's pick on Train, because Train is one of these maps that's really, really hard to take on T side if you don't have a couple of practice executes. Like, you can go kind of YOLO it as well. But Liquid hasn't done any of these elaborate smoke wall sort of strategies, and you can't do those sort of strategies unless you know the smokes and you know how to sort of set up something specific. It's like playing Mirage. If you don't know how to do 3 smoke, 4 smoke, or 5 smoke tactics or whatever, well, then it's one more thing that you can't even execute. And I think that might be the problem over here for Liquid. They don't actually know how to do a super coordinated execute. They just kind of charge in, try to frag out. They're making it costly, but they lack the coordination to go ahead and close the round with OpTic Gaming. They only need 1, Dust, to finish this thing off.
Unfortunately, there's not much of a difference between the round they need and the 2 that OpTic needs to push this into an overtime. So you got to give some credit to OpTic for digging deep and coming up big to even stay alive in this game when it looked like they were about to get blown out of the water. As Liquid does light invest into this, they get tech mines across the board, but only a couple of people are armored, and they only just have a few nades. So again, giving themselves maybe a chance to win this round. They have a little bit to work with, but not crippling themselves for last round of the regulation.
Yeah, Liquid set a floor of about $1,500 on the buy because they know they're going the max loss bonus. Yet again, a $3,400. Stanislaw is going to get aggressive, spots the hand of Nitro, tossing that grenade, finishes the job with the auto sniper, also spamming straight through the smoke. So yeah, B site just looking completely dominant for OpTic Gaming. Dust, what did you see?
I thought that they were trying to pop flash through the smoke to catch Stanislaw, but he pulls out his pistol and blind kills him. And that pretty much was the final nail in the coffin for that round. So it's 15-14 Liquid. They are going to have better money this time. They should be able to get whatever they want. And again, they've had a lot of rounds come down to 1v1s, but they've yet to close one out. They need to now to win this in regulation. Otherwise, we will see an OT, which I think was not even in our minds just, maybe 10 minutes ago. But now it's certainly a reality at this point.
Yeah, keep in mind, this was 12-3 scoreline in favor of Liquid at the end of the first half. Looked like it was going to be over extremely fast, and suddenly OpTic 1 round away from an OT. This time, Liquid playing it nice and slow, looking for some picks. Simple Hiko buddying up down by Ivy. Smoke's being baited out by OpTic Gaming. They got one more in the hands of Rush.
And Shazam actually has this op over towards Enter this time, so not going to challenge Kusta directly in this outer yard. No one's even really giving a peek. Stanislaw has his auto sniper in heaven, which... Well, actually, he dropped down, so he's back in the outer yard now. Yeah, we'll just have to see what is Liquid going to do. They're really spread thin at this point. But I'm sure it looks like they might gather up for an outer split the way people are set up. And they haven't really done like a slow outer take yet. Most of their stuff has been really fast when they've done outer. So we'll see if this works.
Okay, here comes a smoke wall. Liquid figured something out. Peeked around the corner of a Rush, and Stanislaw just pushed up close along with that auto. Making short work. I mean, the entry denied. That's the story of the game right there. 15-15. So we go from a 12-3 dominant half for Team Liquid, and all of a sudden we're going into an overtime.
Yeah, even though everyone had a pretty poor half for OpTic on their terrorist side, they all stepped up when it mattered most on CT, especially Rush and Stanislaw with that auto sniper. Those two guys were really massive.
Yeah.
Rush had a huge round with 4 kills where it looked like they were going to lose. They were in a 3v2. Rush clutches it up with 4 kills, and that was, I think the big round that really sealed the deal for OpTic to get an OT out of this. And now you almost have to favor them a little bit because Liquid hasn't got anything done on the terror side, so maybe you expect OpTic to get, 2, possibly even a clean sweep out of this half and go in where they just need to find 1 on T side. And I think that they have the better playbook as far as how to work the map. It just came down to the fact that they literally couldn't get past the crosshairs of Liquid. Their aim just too good, too skilled, too explosive of players. But maybe they'll have figured something out, during this short break before OT starts to get the job done.
Well, they've had,
but again, there's no real telling.
OpTic's had enough time to think about it. In fact, Liquid going ahead and taking that one time out might have helped OpTic start to sort of think about things. They certainly will have regained their confidence. Look, OpTic know that they can do some big things. Just think all the way back to round 1, that first pistol round, which was absolutely nuts. And, in fact, win in favor of OpTic Gaming, largely thanks to Stanislaw showing up. We've got the scoreboard posted right now. One thing that's interesting to note is NAF-FLY, who had dominant fragger so far within this league for OpTic Gaming. He's got 16 kills. He's actually the bottom frag for his team so far. If he kind of starts snapping back, it's not bad, but if he starts snapping back into that dominant position, look at Rush Stanislaw, 27-26. If he starts putting up a couple more numbers in this overtime, that might be the
when
difference.
You're playing against an opponent like Liquid, who's pretty much firing on all cylinders, the only person who's even struggled a little bit has been Nitro, but even he was still pretty big on CT side. You got to have everyone, pitching in. And yeah, NAF's the kind of player throughout his career, he'd be the guy that might drop a 30 on you, or he might be the bottom fragger. There's almost no middle ground. He's either
that's very
absolutely nuts or he's really off. That's just the kind of guy he is. I've heard it's because sometimes he can just, it's like a mental thing for him. Like sometimes if he gets frustrated, he'll just kind of be like mentally out of it, what some people call it. And so that can affect him. But yeah, they need him to focus up now as they have a real chance of, pulling out this map, despite how it started, as they do have it in overtime now. Stanislaw immediately goes back to the auto sniper. Why not? It's been effective. And let's see how this goes. Double op from Liquid right away. And we saw when they did this, they had a close round off the back of it. They had a big advantage because Simple and Kusa were able to get to those opening picks. Let's see if they can do it now.
Been enough time for both teams to really kind of think about their T side specifically and how to go ahead and approach this and turn it around. A lot of attention, possibly at ladder room.
I like it.
Where's Simple? Look at this tower.
Boosted ladder, yeah. Over the smoke, but no one's on top of the train to find, unfortunately.
In fact, I think that's a one-way. That's cool.
Well, OpTic threw it, so I don't know. Either way, Shazam's actually the one who finds first blood here. Takes down Kusta, so one of the ops is already down. Simple still trying to see if he can find something through this window.
Rush. Rush is going on top of the train. He might get his head blown off by Simple right here. Oh, backs off. That was close. And Simple's just going to stay sitting right here.
Yeah, I mean, you can even see a little bit of Ivy from here as well.
I think
it's a
he
pretty
saw
powerful
Rush.
boosted position.
There it is. Clever play by Simple. And I think that was Nitro boosting him around the corner. So that's an entry. They're working their way in, but Stanislaw Vigado is going to shut them down. No respect. Hiko left all alone. Bomb stuck in a corner. Shazam's going to try and flank all the way around the backside of the site while Daps drops down low. I think Hiko's onto him then. Picks up the bomb. At least he can get the bomb plant.
Yeah, but will he catch Daps? Daps sprays, misses, and you're giving Hiko a chance here. You're giving Hiko a chance, but Shazam able to get the op frag. Saves the day. Shazam was big that round. He kills Kusta right off the bat. He's able to take out 2 more players as well to get the hat trick. So well done. 16-15. OpTic, they start OT the way they ended regulation, putting up rounds here on the CT side to keep them alive. So well done.
Going into overtime here, I'm starting to favor OpTic Gaming. The fundamental problem with OpTic's T side was the fact that they couldn't pull out ops except for what I think 2 rounds total.
Yeah, that's true.
On their T side. But the way the overtime rules work, you've got lots of money right off the bat. So OpTic's got some pretty good chances once they switch over. Let's see. We're going into round 2 here, still on CT side. And that crazy Stanislaw Scar 20 Shazam op setup. Been working very well so far. Fast execute by Liquid, working their way in. Can they do it?
I don't know. We'll see. Rush finding first kill, but Elysia's fire eventually finds Stanislaw. Rush gonna find another there somehow in the chaos, and so they are staying ahead. Hiko again, all alone, 1v3. Even the more difficult clutch he was put in last round. A lot of time to play everything. With. Yeah, it just doesn't work. There it is. OpTic 17-15. So they're looking on point now. I mean, they're exactly where they want to be. They're ahead in overtime. They're getting all their CT rounds in order. As long as they can find this last one and get the clean sweep, yeah, you got to think they should be able to find one. But who knows? Again, both teams certainly struggled to find terrorist rounds, so it's not out of the question that Liquid could sweep them right back and put this thing into a second overtime.
And you don't see this very often in overtime either. Liquid kind of scratching their head saying, oh, we're out of money. Trying to scrape up what they got. Simple's going to be the one with the deagle. A little spray through. Hiko does some damage to Nap, but Nap's going to go ahead and take him out just over what looked like the corner. Maybe the top of that smoke right there. Putting OpTic at an extreme advantage. All they have to do is sit back. Simple Coos, everybody watching for pushes, but OpTic, they've been playing so disciplined right here. Only really pushing out of Ivy once or twice on their CT.
Yeah, I mean, early on in the first half in regulation, you saw OpTic give up a couple of man advantages by pushing the issue a bit too much. Here in overtime, though, very well composed. They got their man advantage, and now they're just going to play it standard. You know, they actually have a lot of focus on Ivy, though. You know, they're pretty passive on the outer yard. Simple is going to be working his way out here. See if he can't even the odds a bit. Give Liquid a fighting chance, and he does take out NAF. That's a big kill to get. Helps them out.
Stanislaus holding the angle. Missed the shot. Little teamwork right there is going to allow Nitro to go ahead and pick up, or rather Rush pick up the kill. But while that's happening on the A side, Kustas works his way into the B side. At inner, drop the bomb in. Leash watching from top.
What a round from Nitro.
To pick up a round.
He's actually been pretty quiet this game. I think he was the bottom fragger there for Liquid for a while because he had such a tough time on the terrorist side. But he has a massive quad kill, and he gets the round for Liquid. And that might be the difference maker, the fact they actually could get around on the T side in this overtime. And it's not out of the question for Liquid to clean sweep a CT side. We saw how effective they were in regulation. So that could be the one round that got away from OpTic that could be, like I said, the difference between a winner or a loss here. Good fake. I mean, Simple did a great job holding people in place to allow that fake to set in. And that's actually one of the real only fakes I saw this game from Liquid, funny enough.
I believe it was last time around, OpTic Gaming took a total of 2 gun rounds on their T half. But again, like we talked about, they only had 2 gun rounds where they actually had the AWP coming on out. We've seen the Scar 20 being really effective on defense, along with the AWP in Shazam's hands. See just how they choose to go ahead and invest their money this time around. Rush already up to 31 kills. That's worth noting. Simple as well. Second half underway.
So, yeah.
The number we're looking for is 19.
Yeah, I mean, the big point you stressed is Shazam didn't have the AWP a whole lot on the terrorist side. On CT side, he did a lot with it. What can he do with it here now on T side? And he's going to have it at least 2 of these rounds.
Trouble is, he's also going to have to deal with Kusta, who's been one of these major Rising Star offers.
Look at Simple going mag 7 first round of OT despite having 10K. Playing a spot where it definitely could do a lot of damage. Oh, there's Kusta, though, taking Shazam out.
Oh, Simple. Playing the smoke, they're past each other. He takes that. Nance has no idea this is going to be here. Simple didn't realize that Rush is in the corner. I thought Rush was going to find himself in a good deal of trouble, but he turns around, fires right through the smoke, picks up the kill. Bombs isolated. There goes Rush. Stanislaus and NAF-FLY, though, working off that pick. They're going to rotate all the way back and try to recover the bomb. Liquid converging.
Kusta has a really big round in his hands right now. 2 kills, including taking Shazam out right away. Big deal there for him. Exactly what Liquid picked him up for. He was going to be that higher skilled op. He's been showing a lot of promise in some earlier land events with Enemy, and now he's here helping Liquid out in a big way, particularly in this round where they need to clean sweep if they want to win this overtime. It's looking pretty good on this one, at least, as NAF is left alone in a 1v3.
Oh, no! Missed shot. And while tossing the molly, Goose is going to go ahead and peek NAF-FLY. So we're in overtime. Second half at this point, 17-17. OpTic Gaming losing their first T round. They've still got enough cash to buy out and get the AWP into Shazam's hands. One more time. They've got to do it, or else we're very likely looking at a Team Liquid victory right here, right now.
This is their last chance. They're going to go for a really quick outer hit. They're not going to fiddle around with any type of complex strategies. They're trying to just pour out and get the job done. Stanislaus already has 1 pick here, so this is looking good for OpTic so far.
Oh, but look at Nitro. On the big flank. Works his way around the corner. Shazam has his back turned to this. Smokes are still down. Shazam has no clue. Nitro makes any noise. He's dead. Oh, and the patience. Just when Shazam starts to suspect something, Nitro turns around, takes him down. Takes the apps as well. And they've got these players isolated on the backside. NAF and Stanislaus at old T-Hell.
Yeah, Rush gets the kill from ladder, though, so Simple left all alone. Tries to smoke defuse, but Rush saw him, I think, before it deployed, so had a good idea where he was, able to spam through. And so OpTic, they're up to 18. They've won.
That's important.
Yeah, this is big. They've gone 1 for 1 so far. This will determine whether or not it's another OT, whether or not OpTic takes it. Again, this was the map they felt they had the best chance on. They picked it, trying to catch Liquid off guard, who hadn't played it. Didn't look so good at the beginning, but now they're just a round away from getting the W anyway.
See, Liquid has some decent money this time around. Rush, living up to his name, Rush is into ladder rim. Gonna make the young Simple get taken out very, very quickly. That's gonna slow OpTic getting down right quick. They still have control of the bomb. Still have plenty of options to split the site with 1:20 on the clock.
See what they do here. Liquid's got themselves into an advantage to try to push this thing into a second overtime, but OpTic still has a bit to work with, as it looks like they were testing the waters for an outer split. Shazam's already out ladder with this op, looking for a pick on someone set up aggressively, but not going to be the case. Liquid's pretty much fallen back, taking more passive positions, just holding angles, waiting for OpTic to step in. Boosta has the angle here, but Shazam spots the knee, hits the shot, and that's going to give them an even 4-on-4 now. Smoke out on Z connector. Liquid spread thin as OpTic are plowing here into this outer bomb site, looking to put this one away, looking to take the map that they picked.
I want to believe OpTic storming into the A side. They're going to take all the frags right away, and Simple left all alone. So this is for the win on Train. First map in this best of 3. Simple super low on health, misses the shots. Daps peeks him wide through Z connector. 19-17 at the end of overtime. There's the cases dropping on down right now as the stat board comes up on our screen. You got 230Ks coming out for OpTic Gaming on their map pick. It was too close for comfort, Dust.
Yeah, it looked like OpTic was about to lose out on their pick, and that would have set them up for a likely 0-2 loss.
Yeah.
When you think about the maps and you think about